بدأت قصتها بعد أن أصبحت أماً، عندما لمست مدى افتقار برامج الأطفال إلى محتوى غني باللغة العربية، فقررت إنشاء منصة تعليم تفاعلية باللغة العربية، ووظفت وسائل التكنولوجيا لتعليم الأطفال بأسلوب مبتكر مشوق جاذب وممتع، يقدم للمفكرين الصغار الكثير من المغامرات المشوقة والتجارب المفيدة. لنكتشف بعضا منها معا.
صباح الخير. أحكي معكم بالعربي ولا بالإنجليش؟ أحكي معكم بلهجتي اللي مش كلكم رح تفهموها، ولا أحكي معكم باللغة العربية الفصحى اللي أنا مش متمكنة فيها لأني أنا درست بإنترناشونال سكولز زيكم. اللغة العربية هي مصدر فخري واعتزازي وهي هويتي، ولكن so nothing gets lost in translation, I will be speaking in English to tell you about our journey in awakening the curiosity in Arabic language and our journey in innovation in Arabic language learning. This is my son Sharif, 20 years ago. When he was a baby, I noticed that he was surrounded with English. His favorite songs were in English, his favorite books were in English. He even learned the English alphabet at nursery before the Arabic one. And it made me curious. Why, in a region that has such a rich language, are we turning towards learning in English? Enter Lamia, my friend and later co-founder. She was living in London at the time, and she was struggling to teach her own son Hamid Arabic. She noticed that mothers in London from Germany, France, Spain, Japan, their kids all spoke fluently in their mother tongue, but she was struggling with Arabic. There was so much content in other languages, but there was no engaging content in Arabic. Lamia and I are both content creators, and we wanted to do something about this. We started to ask moms in the region. We asked moms in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Egypt, and this was a pain shared among all moms. So we decided to run a business experiment. We had a hypothesis. If we create content in Arabic language that was homegrown, that addressed kids in a language they understand and are familiar with, their Arabic language will improve. So we decided to create a 20-minute movie about animals. We filmed animals in our environment, camels, sheep, dogs. We asked our moms and aunts for nursery rhymes in the Arabic language. We worked with local animators and puppeteers, and we created a 20-minute movie. And we decided to show it at a local theater in Jordan. We told friends and family, and we expected a cozy gathering of 50 people. 300 people showed up. We had to show the movie 3 times because the theater wouldn't fit the people who came. And that's when we knew we were onto something. And Little Thinking Minds was born. And we made it our mission to focus on creating Arabic engaging content to promote Arabic language literacy and fluency. We released our production on VHS tape, believe it or not, and then we started creating DVDs that we distributed to various bookstores in the region. And then we started creating apps for kids, for parents, and then we started creating platforms for schools. And it turns out that the problem we were trying to solve or trying to address, actually had a name: learning poverty. Learning poverty is when a child, by the time they reach the age of 10 years old, they cannot read or comprehend an age-appropriate text. According to the World Bank, 60 to 70% of children in the Middle East suffer from learning poverty. You might wonder, that doesn't make sense. Arab kids speak Arabic. It's true, Arab kids do speak Arabic, but that doesn't mean they are literate. And then you might say, why does it matter? English is the language of globalization. Why should I learn Arabic? For one thing, when you speak your mother tongue fluently, you master other subjects, and it leads to academic excellence. Also, perfecting your mother tongue promotes learning other languages, multilingualism. And away from academia, language is the key to culture and heritage preservation. It is the bridge between tradition and progress, the key to our identity. So being curious beings and wanting to work on this, we started to ask, how did we get here? Where along the way did we lose our language? For one thing, we need to remember that Arabic is a diglossic language, which means the Arabic we speak is different than the Arabic we read and write. So a child from Morocco will not necessarily understand a child from Dubai. And if I were to speak to you in my accent today, you probably won't understand me. There's only 60 to 70% overlap between spoken and written Arabic. So in a way, it's like a student is learning another language. We cannot forget the colonial history of our regions, where colonial powers left their linguistic footprints on our language. Arabic is the 5th most spoken language in the world, but the language has not kept up when it comes to innovation, globalism, and technology. And unlike the golden era of Islam and Islamic civilization, the number of publications in science and literature in Arabic has gone way down. So as English became the language of globalism, there was a mushrooming of private schools that focused on English language education and instruction. And there was a large migration from public schools to private schools that focused on English. And don't forget outdated Arabic curricula, poor teaching techniques, and limited budgets in schools. And of course, we cannot ignore the importance of pop culture. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Apple Music, all in English. And Arabic took a back seat. But we wanted to do something about it. So let's go back to little thinking minds. As our kids became teenagers, we saw that they loved reading in English, but they had a lot of resistance to reading in Arabic. We saw at their schools, they had these wonderful platforms in English language, but there was nothing in Arabic. And there was a floating statistic. It's a controversial study, I know, but there was a floating study that said that a child in the Arab world read 6 to 15 minutes a year of non-textbook material versus 18,000 minutes in the West. And we wanted to do something about it. We had another hypothesis. If we made available an Arabic learning platform that was engaging and that had lovely content collected from the region, aligned with the curriculum, children would engage in their language and their learning outcomes would improve. We applied for a grant in the US called All Children Reading, which focused on innovation in literacy. We were one of 12 global winners to win this award. We created a digital reading platform in Arabic with 50 books, and we piloted this program in 20 public schools in Jordan. Half the students used our program, and half had regular classroom instruction. Within 3 months, the kids finished all 50 books, and we had to create 50 more. And within 3 months, they finished the 50 books, and we had to create 50 more. On average, over the full pilot of 9 months, the kids read 100 books, versus the 1 book they used to take out of the library to read. Teachers noticed significant improvement in their skills. Attendance went up. And even parents said that their daughters asked for their hair to be braided differently on the day they had the reading club so that they can fit the headsets on. We conducted an impact evaluation with a company from San Francisco, and the results were significant. There was 30% improvement in literacy skills. As a result, UNICEF Jordan decided to adopt the program and implement this with Syrian refugee students and low-income Jordanian students. We created books that focused on social cohesion, tolerance, gender equality, and inclusivity. And the results, again, were significant. And now the Jordanian Ministry of Education wants to scale this nationwide. I am proud to say that today we are a globally recognized award-winning company. We are a team of 60 working in 4 countries, and we reach 500,000 students in the Middle East. We work closely with partners to make sure we deliver our impact, but we cannot do this alone. It takes all of us, policymakers, teachers, researchers, education companies, writers, all to come together and do something to awaken our curiosity in the Arabic language again. Initiatives like the Mohammed bin Rashid bin Al Maktoum Reading Challenge has created a big difference when it comes to reading culture in the region, and much more needs to be done. I've told you about our success story and our journey to date, but it hasn't always been rainbows. I want to share with you the rain, the challenges we faced. When we first started creating DVDs in the Arab world and distributing them to Virgin megastores and local bookshops in the region, we faced many challenges when it came to shipping, customs, logistics. But the biggest challenge we faced was piracy. We found our DVDs being sold for $1 in Egypt, Lebanon, and Jordan, and being streamed for free online. On the one hand, we were flattered. This meant parents really wanted our programs. But on the other hand, it meant all our hard work was being stolen, and we were not able to be a sustainable business. And we thought about closing the company down. Then we decided, okay, let's change directions, and we started creating apps for parents. And our apps failed miserably. They were a flop. We were unable to be sustainable. We were unable to pay salaries. We were finding it very difficult to fundraise from investors. And again, we thought about closing the company down. But that's the thing about curiosity. When you know that you're solving a problem that really exists, you keep experimenting and trying and going about it until you find the right solution. And when we saw how our children were being exposed to these wonderful English language platforms, we thought, why not do something like this in Arabic? Some people think that innovation means inventing something new. But innovation can also mean drawing inspiration from what already exists and building on it. For us, technology has been an enabler. It has been a means to the end. We use technology to evolve with the ever-changing face of education. Technology is important. Innovation is important. But what's more important is asking the right questions, identifying the right problems, and then working towards taking action and working towards finding the solution. In our journey, we have learned that curiosity without purpose is pointless. And having curiosity without purpose is pointless, and having purpose without taking action is meaningless. So the question I leave you with today is, what awakens your curiosity? And more importantly, how will you act upon it? Thank you.